So if you run your own photo studio or you own your own studio, you're thinking about opening one or owning one, you're dreaming about it, these 10 things will make or break it. And make sure you guys stick all the way to the end, because when I say everyone, pretty much everyone forgets number 10. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is James. I am a photographer, director, editor, and in this case, I am also a photo studio owner. I've owned my studio for almost 2 years now, and I've learned so much in that process. I have tons of videos on this channel that you guys can check out talking about the business behind it, the pros and the cons. But what we're going to talk about today are the 10 essential things that will make or break your photo studio. So this video will be perfect for those that run photo studios or you have your own space that you own. But this is also for people that own studios that rent it out to other people. Again, these 10 things will make or break in either regard, whether it's your own studio or it's ones that you rent out to other people. And jumping straight in, the first thing that will make or break your studio is just having quality lighting. Quality lighting is definitely a key factor to any studio. In my studio, in my case, I have tons of natural light, but for those that don't, you need to have at least one key light that clients can use. Now, in my case, I'm using it right now to light me. I have this big window here, but I have an Amaran 300C with a dome bouncing up against the wall and just giving me a little bit of fill. That alone is enough just to have in your studio. You need to have at least one source of artificial lighting for your clients. Another thing that I see a lot of studios skip out on and not really think about are quality stands. And I say quality because not every stand and every light is treated the same. Again, I'm shooting with the 300C. I can easily put that on a light stand, but the more I add on to the light, like modifiers and softboxes, that light begins to get very heavy. And you need to have C stands in your studio, at least two. You need at least 2 C stands in your studio. Light stands will do with some of the smaller lights, but I highly recommend that you guys have C stands in your studio. One thing that my studio doesn't lack are background options, from the natural brick that's just naturally a part of the building structure to some of the walls and actually some of the backdrops that we have. And speaking of backdrops, one second. Can I have the 9-foot pure white? Thank you. Okay. All right, now that I got that backdrop, you need to have at least 3 colors, which are white, black, and gray. Those are the standards. Everything else is considered a add-on. So in my case, I have those 3, and I also have a plethora of colors from all different ranges. And like I said, our walls are also backdrop options. The biggest wall was honestly the plainest wall when I acquired the space. So I went ahead and lime washed the entire wall just so that it wasn't a plain blank wall that honestly you really couldn't do much. We already have enough plain walls in the studio, so just converting that wall to be another set piece, another backdrop was the way to go. So make sure you guys have tons of quality and a variety of backdrop options. Some of these things are very easy to overlook, but once you're in a position where you need that one thing, you'll never forget that you need that thing again. And one of those things, like I said, it's very easy to not think about, but it's extension cables. You need extension cords in your studio. I think I have about 6 different extension cords for different lengths, and I would recommend getting colored extension cables, so then that way they're distinguished between power cables for the lights, and your people that book the studio don't accidentally take it. Some of the cables that I have in here that are black and nondescript, I wrapped tape around the ends, so then that way when clients come in, they know that it's not theirs. But make sure you guys have a plethora of extension cables and extension cords, maybe even power strips in your studio. And this one is I'll say it's my biggest one, because I'll say about 90% of the studios that I've rented and gone to or shot at or worked at with other photographers, I would say 90% of them don't have this one single thing, and that is a workstation or a mobile cart. So when I do photo shoots, I shoot tethered. For those of you guys that don't know what tethered is, basically my camera is connected to my computer. So as I'm shooting, all the images are going straight into the laptop, onto the hard drive, so the client can see the photos in real time. Now, when I'm shooting, I need a place to put my computer and put my gear. I don't want to just put it on a table because I like to free move, and if I'm telling the client to move this way and I want to move along with it, but my station isn't mobile, now my computer now needs to be moved with the table, with everything that's on the table. Just get yourself a mobile cart, a mobile workstation that has wheels, obviously. So that way, as you're shooting, you can move from left to right. You can move all around the studio and not be hindered by your setup at all. Get yourself a workstation. Now, this one is pretty much for all the women out there, even though everyone needs it, but it's really for the girls. And that is a full length mirror. And the full length mirror is kind of like a centerpiece in our studio. As you can see, it's right there behind me, right over there in the back. But a full length mirror is perfect for those last minute touches when the client or whoever you're shooting or whoever's in the studio, they just want to make sure they look good before they step and start taking photos or getting filmed. For having a full length mirror, honestly, is kind of a necessity. I mean, it's good to have mirrors, but as long as you have at least one full length mirror, just so that the client or whoever's working in your studio can see their entire body. And sometimes I put the full length mirror in front of the client. So if I'm shooting on the backdrop, sometimes the client is a little insecure or they need to see how they're standing or how they're moving. I'll put that full length mirror right next to me as I'm shooting, and they get to see themselves as they pose and as they move, and they just feel a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable. So having a full length mirror is not only a game changer for your studio, but I think it's also a game changer for having that relationship between yourself, the client, and the camera. I mean, this next one is kind of a no-brainer, and I'm sure everyone has it, but make sure you guys have a speaker, a sound system, something just to have the vibe in the studio. Nothing's worse than having a bland, dry shoot happening. I mean, everyone loves music. Everyone loves having some beats going on when they're shooting. It just gets the energy right. Everyone gets hyped. It just gets everyone in the zone. And if it's just you in here working, it's just something that sets the tone. It's honestly just a tone setter. So make sure you guys have at least a speaker or a sound system in your space. Now, this next one is very dependent on the size of your studio, and that is like a client area or like a lounge area. Now, my studio isn't that big. It's 1,000 square feet, and I utilize every inch of it for shooting purposes, but I made sure that there was an optimum amount of seating. So even though all the seating in here are props and can be used for shoots, like I have this full couch back here, not everyone's gonna shoot on the couch, and I put a table right in front of it. So that's technically like a client lounge area, and when it's like some of the corporate shoots, that's usually where the producer or the director or whoever's like higher up will sit, and they'll be sending emails all day while the rest of the shoot is going on. But just making sure you have at least chairs in your studio so people can sit down. You don't want people obviously just leaning up against the wall or sitting on the floor. Make sure you have, like, I have 2 folding chairs. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different prop chairs in the studio. And then, like I said, I have the couch. I have 6 stools in the studio. There's plenty of seating in here, but if your space calls for it and has the space to accommodate that, having a client area, a lounge area, or a green room area will be perfect for your space. Organization is a very, very important aspect of any studio, whether it's a photo studio, your home studio, your office. I mean, it's just important overall. And again, my space is only 1,000 square feet, and we don't have closets or a storage room or anything of that nature. Everything in this studio is optimized for shooting purposes. Again, we don't have any closets or anything like that. The only thing we have is underneath our sink over there, we have a spot to put like trash bags and just miscellaneous things for the studio. Other than that, we don't have any storage. But if your space calls for it and has the space for it, make sure you have some type of gear rack or organization system that helps make your studio look clean at all times. Now, in my case, I did put up some curtains that I use for shooting purposes, but behind it, I hide all the miscellaneous stuff that doesn't need to be seen in the studio. So I put extra gear back there, extra stands. I put some of our cleaning products back there, just things that don't necessarily need to be physically seen in the studio and aren't needed at all times. I just put that thing up, set that, and I put it all behind it, and that has served me well. And then in our bathroom, I do have a rack where we put some of our toiletries, like tissue, Kleenexes, paper towels, and hair utensils, like, what do you call them? Hair ties and bobby pins, small things of that nature, and just little decorations. Other than that, we don't have much storage in this studio, so it's even more important that we keep this place clean. And speaking of clean, that brings me to my last one, and that is cleaning products. You guys need to have cleaning products in your studio. If you guys do not have Lysol or Windex or things just to keep your surfaces clean, your studio will get run through and it will get dirty. And like I said, number 10 is one that a lot of studios overlook, especially the ones that, you know, they're cheap and they just run people through it. They're like, oh, people are gonna come, it's cheap, and they don't take heed of the cleanliness. I've walked into studios, God is my witness, walked in, the trash is full, it smells, the floor is sticky, the gear's all over the place. It's like, yo, like no one wants to shoot in a dirty environment. So I always tell people, when they are thinking about opening a studio that's not only for them but for other people, treat the studio, it's a double entendre in a way, but treat the studio as if it's yours. But with that, you also have to treat it as if it's not. The thing is, because when it's yours, sometimes you're just like, oh, you know, I'll come back tomorrow and clean and that's whatever. When yes, that is the case, but when other people are paying for it, they want to come into a space that seems like they're the first ones there. It's clean, it's orderly, things are put in place. So making sure you guys have cleaning products, even a freaking broom, just to sweep the place. Making sure your spot is always spotless for the next person, even if it is your own studio. Even when you bring your clients in, you want the environment to be clean, you want it to smell good, you just want it to be zen, you just want it to be right. So make sure y'all get some Windex and clean that window, because I know y'all didn't clean it yet. So those are the 10 things that I believe will make or break your studio. Let me know down in the comments if you believe I missed one, which one was your favorite, which one stuck out to you. If you guys are opening a studio, make sure you guys let me know down in the comments below. And also, if you guys are ever in the SoCal area, Orange County to be specific, make sure you guys hit me up and come shoot at my studio. It's called the Space OC. I'll have it linked down below. You can get way more information over on our website, and we hope that we can accommodate you and host you here. If you guys like this type of content, make sure you guys let me know, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.